Welcome to the TopiaPodCast, where we talk about all things pop culture / Topia related with your hosts, Amani, Edwin, and Antonio. But before we dive into those topics, we like to start the podcast off with questions of the week. This week's question is Marvel's Phase 4 whack? How you guys feeling about that?
I would have to find whack though.
Well, I know. Do you think this is their best phase? Where this is like their fourth phase? You know, some are better than others. I think a lot of people are starting to wake up and feel the burnout from these superhero movies. You know, I think a lot of people are starting to recognize it. Like, it's a little bit of they released a lot of content this year, and you know, quantity is good, but quality is even better. And I feel like they were focused on the quality. You can even see it now in recent days. You know, they're in controversy with their whole VFX team, and they're not paying them right, treating them like shit.
Yeah.
And that results in bad work being put out for us to consume. You know, I think Phase 4 probably isn't their strongest phase. Definitely not their strongest phase.
No, look, I'll definitely agree with you that Phase 4 isn't their strongest, but is it a bad phase? I'm gonna have to say no. Right? Doesn't compare to the other previous phases, of course not. But if you look at the bigger picture of it, it's setting up a lot for the next phase, right? Kind of like how Phase 1 pretty much set up like the Avengers and like the Infinity Saga. And this phase is setting up the Multiverse Saga and like the next Avengers movie coming out in Phase 6, right? Now I can't excuse their terrible work environment and not paying enough people for their employees, because that's never acceptable, especially for a big corporation like Disney and Marvel. They have plenty of money. They can definitely afford to pay their people what they're owed, right? And especially when they showed like fucking in Spider-Man, it was like one of the only movies I ever remember seeing where they were updating the VFX while the movie was still in theaters. Like, that shit was crazy. I've never heard about that before. And then Doctor Strange, terrible effects. Most of the like Disney Plus shows, the effects are like really bare minimum. Like in Miss Marvel, the effects are like really bad, and they try to like clean it up with like the flashy stuff in episode like from 1 to 3. They have like a lot of flashy animations to kind of like just cover up the lack of superpowers and effect and shit. But even like by episode 4, they drop all that, and you can just kind of see like it's kind of like a budget thing. Like even the story, it's rushed, it's kind of bad. But like I said, they're setting up a lot for Phase 5 and Phase 6. Like you look at the lineup for Phase 5, we got Ant-Man and Quantumania. We're going to introduce Kang the Conqueror, and he's like the big villain for like the next few phases. You got Blade finally coming out. You got Ironheart, which some people are excited for. I'm really excited for. A lot of people aren't that excited for. We got the Daredevil show.
You know, if Phase 3 was the Infinity Saga, then Phase 4 was just the setting up saga.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And no, but I'm saying it in a bad way. Like, they wasted an entire saga, an entire phase of just setting up. Every single Disney Plus show was like setting up for this, and now we're setting up for this, and now we're setting up for that, and it's like,
I think
just tell a single story.
Right,
just tell a single story.
I honestly feel like they're just experimenting right now.
Yeah, and they
want to see what works and what doesn't work, and I feel like they definitely saw what worked, and they're moving it on to the next phase, right? Because look at the I feel like the show for Captain America and the Winter Soldier, that worked pretty well. It was one of their best Disney Plus shows. And then look at that, we're getting a whole movie just for him and shit. So they're clearly bringing the good stuff that worked and leaving the stuff behind. I don't know why we're getting an Agatha show. I'm really hoping to God we cancel it. It's not too late to cancel it, because we don't need that. Like you said, we don't need that much quantity. We need more quality. But they're doing some good setups. Like again, they're doing some good setups. Let's see how they close it out with Black Panther. You know, see if that can save it. Because let me tell you this: if Black Panther's the best movie since Endgame, would you say that's enough to save
the best? I don't know if Black Panther could be better than Endgame.
I'm not saying better, but I'm saying like the best since Endgame, like the best movie that we got. Because think about
even then, because they don't. To me personally, I feel like this phase doesn't have a lot of dubs. They have Spider-Man.
That's not a dub.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That is a dub.
Okay.
I'm saying like Phase 4 doesn't have a lot of thing I could recommend people other than the Spider-Man movie that came out.
No Disney shows.
Honestly, I'm really blanking on the whole phase.
Would you recommend Loki?
Stayed out. Loki was good.
Loki was good. Like I said, the Captain America show was good. Hawkeye was trash.
That could have been in the oven for a little bit more than Hawkeye.
Moon Knight was good.
Moon Knight was not good.
Wow. You don't think Moon Knight was good? Really?
No. It wasn't like...
I mean, it wasn't
not good.
incredible, but it was good. It was better than like half the other. It was better than WandaVision, in my opinion.
Yeah, but WandaVision's bar is set really low.
You think so?
Yeah.
Wow. I feel like that one Loki had the most hype, considering it was like the first show that was going to be related to a movie, and Doctor Strange.
That was cool. I do like that.
Yeah, but I feel like it was kind of not necessary in a way, if I'm being honest with you. Like, if I would have just watched the movie without the show, it would have been fine. But who knows?
I'm not gonna act like I'm the biggest Marvel fan. I'm a DC guy,
Yeah,
and I haven't seen all of the phase stuff in every single phase.
Oh, you haven't?
But Phase 4 was like I think I saw like, I don't know all the phases by heart, like all the content with each phase, but I think I've seen most of Phase 3, and then I've really been keeping up with Phase 4, and I regret keeping up with Phase 4. I feel like I wasted my time. But
What about the She-Hulk show? How you feeling about that?
I don't even know what that, like, I've heard some good things about it. I heard they're gonna do some fourth wall breaks, and that was like from the comics. So I just gotta see the show because I don't know anything about She-Hulk. I'm not a Marvel dude. I know the bare minimum.
What about you, Priscilla? Any thoughts on She-Hulk?
I really don't care for She-Hulk, but I'm definitely gonna watch it though. I'm definitely gonna watch it just to see what the hell the Hulk is doing.
And Daredevil was supposed to be in it too.
Yeah, supposedly. But if you had to rate Phase 4 on a scale from 1 to 10, back to the question of the week. If you had to, Wakanda's not out. All right, except for Black Panther, what would you give it right now? With no Black Panther, what would you give it right now?
5 out of 10.
You said what?
5 out of 10.
5 out of 10.
Yeah.
For the whole phase?
Yeah, for the whole phase.
Whole phase, 5 out of 10. No, it's watchable.
I give it a 7 out of 10.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Wow. I thought I was like,
Wow.
Spider-Man was good.
It wasn't that good.
enough to carry it.
It wasn't enough to carry it.
Spider-Man came out maybe like, actually no, not even anything.
Doctor Strange wasn't like.
Doctor Strange was bad.
It was terrible.
Doctor Strange was bad.
It was
It was
terrible.
terrible.
Doctor Strange was bad.
Really?
The best part about Doctor Strange was the 5 minutes of the Illuminati we got.
Yeah, that's
really
it. That's it.
really it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what y'all call the line.
And I was excited for it. Let me tell you, I was the one happy. I literally said that was gonna be better than fucking Spider-Man, and it wasn't.
Yeah, I gotta give this phase a 3 then. Like, honestly, like.
So we got a 3, we got a 5, we got a 7. It's crazy.
Shit. So what else came out? What other movie?
It was Black Widow.
Oh damn! Yeah, I forgot Black Widow.
It
Okay,
was
okay.
Black
Yeah,
Widow,
5 out of 10.
Spider-Man, Thor,
Oh.
Multiverse, and now Black Panther coming out.
Yeah, right now.
So literally, we only had 2 good movies. I'm counting Black Panther with that. We literally have 2 good movies. Well, no, 3. Cause I'm not gonna say Thor was bad. This one Marvel. I'm gonna just talk about Thor real quick. All right. Look, I'm not gonna say Thor: Love and Thunder was a bad movie, right? But he definitely fucked up the villain, Gore the God Butcher. Like literally, his title is God Butcher, and you only see him killing one god on screen. And like the other gods, when you get to them, they're already dead, and it's really bad. It's really trash. Like he doesn't even pull up to the fucking city of gods and shit where Zeus and shit are. Like they have Thor fight Zeus and all the other gods instead of having Gore the God Butcher fight the gods, and that would have been much cooler. But no, they just have Thor fight Zeus and steal his powers, and then they go fight Gore, get their ass beat, and then he Naruto's him. He talks him out of killing all the gods because he was gonna make a wish.
Spoilers.
Spoilers. I'm sorry, but if you made it this far, spoilers. But he Naruto this guy because Gore was gonna make a fucking wish to kill all the gods instantly, right? And Thor was like, "Hey, yo, bro, think about your daughter though, right? Like she wouldn't want that." And he was like, "You know what, bro? You're right." And then he brought his daughter back to life instead.
Yeah.
And now Thor has an adopted daughter.
Yeah, so that sounds like it's a bad movie.
Yeah.
So when did Jane Foster
She
come into play?
The Jane Foster part is pretty much exactly like the comic book. She ends up taking up the hammer because she's dying from cancer, and she figured the hammer could help her out. But instead of helping her, it weakens her human cells, meaning that the cancer is it's able to kill her faster, and it's like killing her chemo treatment too. So basically, the more she uses the hammer, the more she dies, and she does die in the movie because of the hammer and the cancer and all that other stuff.
Are you serious?
Yeah, she literally dies in the movie. But in the end credit scenes, they show her going into Valhalla.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like I said, the Force Phase only has 2 good movies. 3 if you want to count Thor. Like it's more watchable than multiverse. I'll say that for sure, and definitely better than Black Widow by 1,000,000%. And it was funny. It was definitely funny. I'll tell you that. Like I was dying. That shit was really funny, and you can tell that Taito Wakiki. How do you say his name? Taito Wakiki. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm sorry if I'm not. You can tell he has a lot of fun playing with the characters and the world building. So it's like it's fun to watch. But story wise, it could have been better.
I see. Me and Antonio haven't seen it yet, but you know, Edwin has some pretty strong thoughts on it. Heard some things. I don't know. I feel like Marvel's putting out way too much content. Like we're supposed to get an Agatha show, an Echo show. Groot is gonna get a show, and I saw the trailer for it, and I was like, this is not unnecessary.
It really is.
Like
it doesn't add anything.
It doesn't. It's like just take a break from making. It's okay to take a break. Like I remember some people were saying like, yo, after Endgame, they should have just like took a break there, be gone for a while, and then come back, and it was something. But I feel like they're pumping out way too much content. They gotta slow down.
Money grab. It's all just money grab.
Because you know it's always going to be that fan base that watches it no matter what.
Since we're on Marvel, let me talk about Miss Marvel. I wrote down some notes from every episode, so I'm just gonna go through them real quick. All right, Miss Marvel. I did not fuck with Miss Marvel from beginning to end. No, that show was bad. I couldn't. I watched it all, but it was terrible.
Wow.
I haven't yet to watch it yet.
Oh, well, it's bad, bro. It's bad.
I'm hearing all of that. I don't want to waste my time with something that's bad.
So, let me tell you. Just real quick, I'll go through some of the bullet points I wrote down. Episode 3, bro. It was crazy. It was I think that's when they broke in. They interrupted the wedding. Kamala's brother was getting married. And then some people from, like, the other world came to interrupt their wedding. And they was fighting. They were throwing hands. The white dude got hit with a chair. And he acted like he was, like, on the brink of death. Like, one of the dudes threw a chair at him. And he acted like he was about to die, bro.
Yeah.
And then she legit had him around his arm. Kamala had his friend around his arm and was carrying him out. And I was like, bro, he threw a chair at you. You're literally fucking fine. But he's acting like he was about to die. That shit pissed me off in episode 3, alright? And then fucking at the end, the cops come in. And then they only arrest the people who interrupted the wedding. They didn't even capture Kamala or her friend.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how they didn't know, because they make it seem like they didn't notice them. They, like, in the show, they make it seem like they get away. But they didn't fucking get away at all. They didn't do anything. Like, they were right next to them, and they decided to ignore them. And I was like, that makes no sense, but okay. Episode 4, they had a good train fight. And those people, like I said, the police caught them in episode 3. And then they end up breaking out literally the next episode. So I was like, and they break out so fucking easy.
Yeah.
And I was like, why did you even show us them getting captured last episode then if it wasn't going to lead to anywhere? If they were just going to break out super easy. And these are supposed to be high-tech. This is the government. The Marvel government. These are supposed to be high-tech people. They had them on the rails and shit.
Yeah.
And they broke out so ridiculously easy, bro. I couldn't fucking believe it. And then they end up finding Kamala all the way in fucking Pakistan. Because they get arrested in, like, America. But then they just find them, magically, teleportly find them in Pakistan. Knew which building they were in and everything.
Marvel.
And I was like, alright, whatever. I did like that actor for Red Dagger. He's a good fighter. Every scene with Red Dagger is pretty good. He could throw hands.
Debatable. His catchphrases are trash.
Episode 5, they show Kamala's mom's backstory. And they show how she gets stabbed during the partition, I think. It was like...
That was her great-grandmother.
Yeah, her great-grandmother. And yeah, she got stabbed. I'm like, how did nobody see her get stabbed? And then, you know...
No, that was okay, because it was super crowded.
No, it's exactly super crowded, so how did no one see?
Exactly, so like...
And then same thing for the stars. She uses her powers to guide the way.
Okay, now that one you got.
And I was like, how the fuck did no one see? No one was reacting, nobody cared.
You got that one, yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I did think the star thing was clever. Like, a lot of people were thinking it was America Chavez who did it somehow.
No, that would have been stupid.
But no, it was actually like some Harry Potter shit.
Yeah.
It's Kamala, she goes back in time. It's like a time loop. There's a specific name for it because it's used a lot in fiction. But yeah,
so
they did a time
something
loop.
that's meant to happen.
Yeah, so they did some time loop shit. So I did think that was pretty clever because I was like, how is she gonna do stars? But like the shit broke. It was cool. Episode 6 was the final episode, and that was the worst episode.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. So the FBI agents are looking for Kamala and their friends. So then they go to school, and then they do some Scooby-Doo shit where they set up Scooby-Doo traps. I'm not even joking. They set up Scooby-Doo traps for the fucking military.
Yeah.
I couldn't fucking believe it. And then they had the white girl she saved in episode 1, and she had a TikTok following, and she was like, guys, she made a fucking TikTok, and she's like, everybody come to the school, the police are harassing us, da da da. And then that goes out, and then everybody is just on their phones, and they're like, yo, we gotta go to the school, we gotta help her. I'm like, they had the grown people in the gym working out, like, yo, we gotta go to the school, bro. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck, that's mad creepy. So yeah, TikTok saved the day in typical Gen Z fashion. TikTok saved the day.
Yeah.
Everybody came to the school. Their Scooby-Doo plan was like working for a little bit, and it was just fucking ridiculous.
Nah.
They had the white boy, her friend, I don't know his name, Monroe?
Marone?
I don't know, Bruno, whatever. The fake Spider-Man, because he auditioned for Spider-Man and he didn't get the role. So that's fake Spider-Man to me. Fake Spider-Man, he was loyal. He was saving that Kamala's boyfriend had a crush on him. Like, even though he had a crush on Kamala, he was doing a lot for his competition. Like, I would have let that dude die so many times, but he was saving him, so he has my respect for that, because I wouldn't have saved him. I would have let him die. But like, oh no, oh my god. But whatever. One of them got, I think it was the fake Spider-Man who got hit. Like, one of the soldiers slapped him in the face with his gun, and I was like, damn, he should be knocked out, scarred. Like, he just got hit with some military grade shit. And I found out later, final thing I'm going to say about the show. The show's garbage, but I did find out later that the military, they had like these sonic cannons. They used it in episode 5 and 6. Those sonic weapons, they were from like the old Hulk movie that they used to, like, you know, on the Incredible Hulk himself.
Yeah.
They just like on a smaller scale, and I'm like, they literally have Hulk level weapons, and they're losing the little fucking kids.
Do you know who made those weapons? Tony Stark.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Fucking whatever.
It's
So
all connected.
yeah, it's all connected. It just doesn't make sense, you know.
I will say a couple things to help defend the show just a little bit. One, we gotta remember that Marvel is owned by Disney. Not everything they're gonna make is for a mature audience. A lot of the shit is for younger audience. Like, you know, teenagers that are literally starting freshman year and shit, right? It's more relatable for them. It's not gonna be relatable for us.
But the audience isn't that
for us, it's
dumb.
cliche. I understand that, but for us, it's cliche. For a younger audience, it's watchable, it's entertaining. And let me just say this: if we would have had this level of quality TV shows when we were younger, we would have enjoyed it. It would have been top tier. Hell yeah, it would have been top. Compared to the Disney shows that we had back then, like Austin and Ally and shit like that, those just were corny, garbage as fuck, never paid off. Like, at least kids these days actually get Marvel shows, right? That's pretty cool. And for the actor that played Kamala, it was her first acting role ever, especially like at that caliber. So I think she did a really great job.
Yeah, she did a good job acting.
Acting gig, like, that was incredible. I think it was the same thing for the American job. I could be wrong about that, but Disney's just giving a lot of opportunities to new actors and shit, so that's pretty cool. They're actually doing a good job and shit. And last thing I'm gonna say to save the show is that Disney said fuck the Inhumans, because no one fucks with the Inhumans, and are making her a mutant. Okay, so we're finally getting some hints of X-Men and shit. They even say, like, when they're like, oh yeah, there's a mutation in your gene, they even play the X-Men 90s theme and shit a little bit in the background, and that shit was dope. So mutants are coming. I'm hyped for that.
Yeah. When I was watching the show, definitely didn't say anything about the acting. The actors were good, but it's just the writing, some of the effects, it's just god awful. It made it hard to watch. It made it really hard to watch. I can't recommend that to anybody.
That's fair.
But yeah, I had a vent about that, Miss Marvel. That was all I had for the Marvel stuff.
Same.
Anything you want to add, MCU?
No, I got everything from Marvel.
Yeah. Okay. Anything on DC? Just Black Adam and shit coming now.
Harley Quinn is out.
Yes.
I started it. Yeah, I don't know about y'all.
I have yet to start it.
Okay, so we all slacking right now.
Yeah, we didn't start it, but Harley Quinn season 3, that is out.
Okay.
I did see the trailer for Black Adam.
Something good.
That was pretty good. A lot of people are worried that they might make him like a hero type, because like in the comics he's not really a hero. He just kind of does whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He's like a little bit of both, but he really just does whatever he wants. So I hope they keep that same vibe and don't make him a hero. I think they showed the Shazam trailer came out too, and that shit looked really good.
Yeah.
So DC's coming out with some bangers right now.
Really,
And Marvel could take a page out of their book. Like, they take their time. Like,
now.
they take their time now. Like, they should just focus on like single things. Like, the Batman thing isn't connected to like a big universe. It was like its own one thing. The Joker wasn't connected to like the Snyder whatever. It was like its own one thing. Like, that's what Marvel should be doing. Like, just focus on some own one thing. Don't set it up. Just like tell a story real quick. Tell a story, get it done, wrap it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than those trailers.
Oh, and Aquaman 2's coming out also.
Oh, is it? I've not seen a single Aquaman movie.
Me neither. But apparently they're good. Or at least the first one's good.
Yeah, apparently they're good.
Good.
I'm not gonna say they're bad because apparently they're good. I just haven't seen them.
Does have Amber Heard in it though.
That's true. And the Batman game still like they're still working on it. I know they made a trailer for Batwoman.
Fuck the Batman game. I want the Suicide Squad game.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure that got delayed, so you gotta
That
wait.
one looks way better.
But yeah, that was all I had for DC. So moving on from Marvel and DC. Well, while we're on the topic superheroes, talk about Amazon The Boys real quick. It already wrapped up. It's finished. A little late to the party, but that show is peak. All right, not Homelander. Dean, Soldier Boy, James Ackles, all the name, whatever you call that man, put respect on his name. He's a great actor. He carried it. I thought he was gonna play a small part. I just thought he was gonna be a side character, but nah, he said, nah, you know who I am? You better give me a main piece.
Not even, I feel like he should have done way more. Like, I honestly I wanted him just to be in every episode.
Every episode, yeah, I feel that.
Just doing his shit. But they definitely did a lot with them. It was good. He almost killed Homelander, in my opinion. Like, I think he was the closest one to ever killing him. Never just gonna see like that easily. From now on, it's gonna be way much of a struggle.
Yeah. Now there were some people complaining about how the show's not realistic anymore and how it's stupid because of how it ended with Homelander killing the dude and then he cheered and then everybody cheered and they were saying, oh, that's not realistic at all, that's stupid. But it is.
It's so real.
But let me give you an example. Donald Trump, he used to be the president.
Yep.
He had a quote. He said this in the middle of a campaign speech or whatever, or he said it in the middle of a speech, whatever. Mm-hmm. He said, I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters. It's incredible. And the crowd literally clapped after that. That's literally a quote from the president himself.
Yep.
Like, he was just saying crazy shit.
Where there is a difference between saying it and actually fucking doing it.
But it's realistic because people would actually cheer him. There are people that will not lose faith in him. If anything, that'll grow their faith in him. And they showed that in The Boys. They were like, yeah, this nigga killed someone, broad daylight, and his true fans still support him. Exactly.
I'm just saying, like, there's supporters that'll follow niggas, that'll say anything they'll say. But there's Homelander that actually did it in front of everybody.
But Donald Trump's done worse. Like fucking, you know.
And I genuinely believe if he would have shot someone and whatever the fuck, if he would have shot someone in public, Donald Trump still would have been okay.
Yeah, he would have been fine.
He would have been okay.
Like, he's supposed to be going to trial soon because of January 6th and whatever. He's committed real crimes. Like, he's committed a lot of crimes, and people supported him every single time. Like, it's crazy, but that's the world that we fucking live in.
Yeah.
Just like how The Boys, they had storm chasers. That was like their Nazi people who followed Lady Stormfront or whatever. Mm-hmm. They called themselves storm chasers, and we still have, you know, racist rallies to this day too. So it's mad realistic. I don't know why anybody's talking about it's not realistic anymore because it's pretty scary.
Yeah.
It's pretty scary how realistic it is.
A little bit.
But other than that, a lot of people miss the political stuff. You know, they get it confused. No people have any political literacy. It's crazy. But other than that, every single episode was good. It was a banger. Not a single bad episode. And I'm excited for more.
Yep.
Alright, with that being said, after all that superhero talk, we'll switch it up a little bit. We'll go into some anime news. So you guys know that Yu Yu Hakusho is getting a live action series coming to Netflix.
Oh boy.
I don't know if you've seen any of the footage or the trailers, the casting.
I don't know why they're doing that now. Like, that shit's been over for what, 20-some years?
It's been over for a long time.
Let's leave it that way. Let's leave it that
And
way.
Netflix gives a fat, nice check. That's why.
A nice check. Yo, Netflix should be the last people trying to make any type of anime content, let alone live action. Like, they can't even make regular anime good. They're not gonna make live action anime. Like, get the hell out of here, bro. I'm not hearing it. Let's not forget the abomination that was Record of Ragnarok, okay?
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Yeah, they messed up that record, Ragnarok. I was so excited for
I'll
it.
never let it go.
Yeah. Apparently Netflix Japan is taking over, like, unlike Cowboy Bebop, where Western Netflix was in charge of Cowboy Bebop, and they wasn't even listening to the creator. The creator didn't even really have no say.
What?
And that's why people say it was garbage. And that's fair. That is fair to say. But at the same time, if it's live action, I feel like it would have been probably bad anyway.
No, I feel like some live actions have hope. Like, we've got Ghost in the Shell. I feel like that's a good adaptation of an anime. That's really enjoyable.
Then maybe Yu Yu Hakusho might be, because Netflix Japan's handling it. We'll see when it comes out.
Hopefully. And people can argue that the Pokemon is a good anime movie. Detective Pikachu, whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, you can argue that. I saw
You
it.
can
I
argue
was
it, right?
I was entertained.
You can argue it.
Alright, so let me tell you about the creator of Rent-A-Girlfriend real quick. So, there's this anime called Rent-A-Girlfriend, pretty self-explanatory. It's about this dude who rents a girlfriend. The new season's out too. I'm watching it. It's really good. You know, they more of the same. They get into their crazy stuff. He's still renting girlfriends. You know, so you love to see it. But let me tell you about the creator, right? The creator of Rent-A-Girlfriend, he's kind of been going crazy. He's been going on social media saying he's in love with Chizuru. That's the main girl in Rent-A-Girlfriend, like the girl he rents. The main character rents the girl. Her name's Chizuru. And he's been saying like he's in love with her. He's been drawing her in 3D style, like realistic. He's been drawing her taking showers, and he's been posting it on like social media. And he has a wife and kid, by the way.
Oh, really?
He has a wife and kid, and he's on social media talking about, I'm in love with her, this is my girl. So I just wanted to share that with you guys.
That's kind of crazy.
That's a little weird.
It is. Antonio just started Rent-A-Girlfriend. He's been watching it recently, and I'm dropping this bombshell.
I'm a little bit obsessed, but now that dude's a little bit more obsessed.